can't bluff a drunk guy, let alone two drunk guys. So what up, guys? Welcome to Happy Face Holdem, another episode. Here we are at the Bicycle Hotel and Casino. This area right behind me used to be the outdoor poker area. I kind of miss it, especially on a nice sunny afternoon here in Los Angeles. It's August 7th, about 3:30 in the afternoon. Came down a little bit early. Wanted to get an early session in, but the wait list is absolutely insane. Check this out. Totally insane. So anyways, got ourselves a little Starbucks, sat around, waited a little bit. Moving back down to 2-3. It's a 300 cap here at the Bicycle Casino. Hopefully the game's good. They just opened a third table. All these people on the wait list. I don't know why they don't have like 5 or 10 tables open. It makes no sense. But anyways, it is what it is. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be out playing poker. Happy to be making poker content for all of you. And don't forget, if these videos can get 500 likes, I'm going to give away five Charlie Card Protectors. Get the official Happy Face Holdem Charlie Card Protector at happyfaceholdem.com. Anyways, stickers on the way too. The stickers are sick. All right, guys, that's enough of me. Let's get into the action. Let's run it up. Let's book a win today. Let's go. Alright, we buy into this 2-3 game for the maximum of $300, looking down at pocket fours and +2, this middling pocket pair. I decided to open the betting to $15. Not sure how the sizing is for the particular game, as it's only the third hand I've been dealt and the table already feels like it's going to be a super net game. The cutoff, the big blind, they both want my Charlie chips and make the call. 3 ways to a flop, 45 in the middle. The dealer puts down 10-7-6 rainbow. As the pre-flop aggressor with a weak backdoor, straight draw, and an underpair, I think check's okay here, but against nits, this middling cardboard, I see bet to $20. I should have all the overpairs, but a 10x or 6-7 is definitely in the caller's range here. If I'm called, I'll proceed with caution on the turn card, but it won't come to that. They both lay their hands down, and we scoop $45 in our first hand. +1 open to $10, the hijack, myself, and the under the gun player make the call. We have a 4-way pot fighting for this so far $40 in the middle. And the flop, it comes down Jack 10-4, total rainbow. Playing in flow, I check under the gun and the initial raiser and +1 check. So the hijack decides to take the betting lead and makes a 1/3 pot size bet of $15. You know, having top pair, no kicker, and a backdoor flush draw, I think it's okay to float one street here. So I put in the 15 to make the call. Under the gun, he thinks that's a fair price with his hand ranking card in front of him on the rail, and +1 now decides on a fold.
Like that, sir.
I didn't fold.
Yes, you did. Come on.
I just opened up. Why?
Go like that. Come on, him. Come on.
85 in the middle, it looks like we're still fighting. I don't usually tilt, but this bickering is really getting to me. There's no doubt about it. 3 ways of the turn, and we see a 9 of clubs. And this time, the action's going to check through. That's interesting. Let's evaluate on the river. When the river pairs the 4, it completes a backdoor flush, and the player to my left is checking out a turn. I decide to lead out here for 2/3 pot, turning my hand into a bluff or a semi-bluff. Player to my left is reviewing his hand chart, his card chart, and the action is still on him when the hijack decides to also play out of turn. He calls the $50. Obviously under the gun now realizes his hand is no good with a straight flush and potential full house on the board. I'm sure I just punted off $50 and turn over my hand. The hijack takes a full 12 seconds to ultimately turn his cards face up with Jack 7 offsuit. And after all that drama and fighting, we're just going to chop this one up.
You know what they say, Lee? Everyone loves a chop pot.
All right, and then the next one, under the gun and +1 and the hijack all limp for $3. So when I look down at a suited ace on the button, I raise to $20. I think 20 is fine as I'll be playing the rest of the hand in position here. Looks like we'll have $80 plus the blinds in this 4-way pot. The flop's an interesting one with a paired king and 2 spades. When the action checks to me, I see merit in checking here since this flop should smash my range and I have a big hand anyways, but I decided to target weaker flush draws or maybe a king and hope to draw out. I want to build this pot, so I go for a nearly pot-sized bet of $70. I've been trying to remember to bet bigger on flops, knowing a lot of players will pay to see one more street with weaker holdings and draws. But unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately, they all fold. And we're going to scoop this one up. Okay, I didn't think this would become much of a hand, so I started recording after the turn, so let me bring you up to speed. Try to keep up. Pre-flop was a 6-way limp pot. I closed the action in the big blind. The action checked through on a 6-4-9 2-heart flop. The turn brings what'll turn out to be an action card, the 10 of diamonds. Turning a flush draw and a gutter, I lead into 5 other players for $15. Under the gun calls after looking at his hand chart, and now +2 raises to 45. The cutoff makes the call for 45, and I decide the price is right and figure that under the gun will call as well. So let's take it from here with 168 in the pot.
You mean you want to raise again? You want to raise again? I don't know. I don't speak Chinese.
If you want to raise, you can raise.
But he don't understand us. He speak Chinese. I'm not Chinese.
My Chinese is pretty rusty, but I tried to explain to him his options as well. And he must understand because he raises to 140. Fast forwarding to the young lady up top, she jams her rack for $247. You know, I've said that playing out of the rack shows weakness, but I'm not so sure in this instance. I think she potentially has something pretty strong to be putting it all in. Well, we fast forward to the cutoff and he follows suit also and goes all in for a little bit less. Back onto me, I think a fold is the only play here with all this action. The river, it's going to ultimately bring the queen of hearts. The player in the cutoff, she's going to show 2 pair, but the player to my left, he shows 7-8 suited for a turn straight to take down the side pot, and the cutoff shows ace deuce of hearts to take down the main pot with the front door flush. All right, guys, little mid-session update. I've been playing for about an hour and 4 minutes. You know, with this whole Delta COVID Delta variant going, you know, just watching the clock every hour, get up, wash the hands. I suggest you do the same. Don't pick your nose. You know, just practice good hygiene, especially at the poker table. And if you use the restroom, damn it, wash your hands. Just wash your hands. Anyways, so where are we at? We're up about $25. It's a pretty slow, nitty game. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see the update I made there from today. We did lose a player in seat 1, replaced by a young Asian girl. Looks a little timid at the table, but maybe that's just my impression. And she already stacked off $300, action player. The gentleman playing to my left, Vietnamese Chinese guy, doesn't speak any English. He was trying to talk to the dealer in Chinese, who informed him she only speaks Vietnamese. When he was trying to raise, this girl had that hand I had queen 4 of diamonds in. So anyways, I was up about 70. That hand, queen 4 diamonds, you saw, lost me a little bit of money. You know, that's what I get for playing those suited cards out of position. But it was a limp pot, so I was getting the right odds. And when I turned the flush draw, I thought, you know, I could stay in there. Anyways, yeah, that was a bad move. I learned my lesson. I'm still up on the day, just a couple bucks, and we're gonna go back and try to get some more. So hey, if you made it this far so far, please like this video. Please hit the subscribe button down below. 60-something% of you are not subscribed. Really helps the channel out a ton. You know, the whole YouTube algorithm thing helps the channel grow, helps push it out to more people like you who maybe want to watch this content. I don't know if they do or not, but I like it when they do, and I appreciate all the support. And don't forget to comment down below. Let's have a conversation about some of these hands you've seen already, or watch to the end, and let's have a conversation about some hands I might get into. Hopefully we get into some action. Anyways, let's go get it. All right, after listening to these two drunk guys on another table, we finally get our table change, and we jump onto this table, and we look down at 7 deuce suited, an absolute premium from the small blind.
Yes, ma'am, I can. Time.
The first wasted guy right to my left is asking for time every hand. It's comical, but definitely slowing the game down. But as you heard, he's super polite about it, and he's having a good time. So he decides a price of $15 is perfect, and so do 2 other players and myself. I close the action with this premium in the blinds, and we're going to go 4 ways to a flop. I guess if you're going to play 7 deuce suited, then this is the flop you want. 5 ace 8, 2 hearts. Playing in flow, I check to the drunk guy, and the action checks all the way through, so I'm happy to see a free turn card. It's going to come down to 4 clubs. I guess we improved to a gutter on top of our flush draw, but we're going to go into a check call mode to any reasonable size bets in this spot. So we check, and he wagers $30 into this $60 pot. But he wants to explain his bet sizing in this spot. Getting 3-1 with 12 outs, he gave me a good price, and since no one likes a bully, we make the call and go heads up to the river, hoping to hit our gutter or our flush. River comes down to 10 of clubs, about as bad as it gets. We brick out, and he places yet another bet, to which we have no other option but to fold. After absolutely missing everything, like if you watch Happy Face Holdem for any length of time, you'll know this is typically how we run. On to the next one. We start with about $200 in our stock, now down on the day, and look at 7-6 suited of the club variety on the button. After 1 limp ahead of us and both drunk players left to act in the blinds, we decide to raise it up to $15. The small blind, drunk guy number 1, he raises to $30. Everybody else folds, and I make the call, and we're going to go heads up to a flop, hoping he doesn't fall out of his chair at this point. On the flop, we see 8 Jack Jack, with yet again 2 cards that are the same suit of the cards in our hand. Our drunk villain keeps telling the same story that the casino has now cut him off from the bar, even though he's being respectful and polite.
You are.
And he bets $30. We're happy to call this one with our flush draw and backdoor straight, although we hold 2 under on a paired board and only have $100 behind, so it may be time to put it all in. The 10 of spades on the turn doesn't improve us at all. It's a pretty bad card, pretty much removing our straight draw. If we get there with the straight, we have the real dummy end of it. He mentions the bar cutting him off as he puts another $30 in. This is quite small compared to the pot. I don't dare bluff a drunk action player, so I make the call, hoping to improve on the river. The river is about as bad as it gets. He actually checks this time, but I'm playing the board at this point, and I think he probably hit his 8 and will call any bet. I check behind, announce 7 high, and he rolls over queen 8. We reload to 275 and couldn't have picked a better time as we look down at Pocket Rockets, American Airlines, first class, pocket aces from the cutoff. The hijack limped this one, so I open the action at $20. Our drunk buddy next to us, he raises to $40. And the drunk buddy after him, he's happy to make the call. He thinks $40 is just fine since he's not spending any more money on buying his buddy drinks. Back around to us with $250 behind, I wager about half of it, or making it at $125 on top of his $40. I don't want to scare anybody out of this pot by making it too big. You know, those drunk guys can be, what do I want to say? A little unpredictable. But before my 125 is even out there, he announces he's going to call, and then he asks for the count. After the count, he puts his money in, and then we get some really good news. His buddy, who's just about as drunk as he has, but hasn't been cut off as far as we know yet, decides to jam his stack for 131 on top. And of course, we call off for a little bit less of 105 that we had behind. And the initial drunk raiser, he's going to call as well. So here we go, playing for the main pot, and they're playing for just a small little side pot of about $50.
Hopefully a good run out.
That's not good.
Here it comes.
Open your cards, man. What do you have? Ace. Oh, man. Shot?
ACES,
there's
ACES,
you got it, man. You got it.
Oh,
Wow. That's
Okay,
like a
105, 105.
He claps for us, we play a few more orbits, and we decide to rack up and book the win. All right, so was that not a dream spot or what? I mean, you can't bluff a drunk guy, let alone two drunk guys. So, you know, just an amazing turn of events that I picked up pocket aces on the button, and they're both all in, so I can't complain. So we're up a little over 300 on the session now. I reloaded for an extra 200, so I'm in for 5, and we're sitting on a little over 800 right now. I think 837. But this table change really worked out good. Happy that I did it. You know, so far so good. I'm assuming this is a mid-session update. This might be the end of it though. It's going on I think about 6:15, so I've been playing for a little over 2 hours now. Took a break to wash the hands at the hour mark, and I might just get out of here, you know, book the win and head out. So in case this is the end of session update, I appreciate you guys being here. Please like the video, subscribe down below. Don't forget to leave a comment, ring the little notification bell, and you'll be notified when I drop new content. And don't forget to get your Happy Face Holdem merch. You see the little Charlie card protector on the table and the Happy Face Holdem wristbands, and the stickers will be in stock any day now. They should be here tomorrow or Monday in the mail. All available at happyfaceholdem.com. There's a link right there. You can type that into your browser and go get yourself some Happy Face Holdem merchandise. All right, guys, let's get out.